what he's doing?
Hello. Hello. Holy shit. Hello. Hello, everyone. Okay. Okay. How you all doing? First, Mr. Reaction channel. The anime reaction never stopped. It's just that I wanted to try some streaming this week. That's why I put most of my time on streaming. But don't worry. If a reaction is missed or an anime is missed that is on the schedule, it gets double episode next week. Round 2, yep. Hey, culture, what's up? Hey. What? Where is it? Oh, I just didn't define the folder. So we watched the Chronicle of Reddit Volume 2, Disturbing Things from Around the Internet Volume 2 and 3. Okay, 4. 4 is the next one in the agenda. Okay, let's continue. There. The volume is up, everything seems to be fine.
Across the internet, strange and obscure content's out there that just might send a chill down your spine, or at the very least, leave you feeling at least slightly unnerved. With that being said, I'd like to welcome you all back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. This is my series where I consolidate bite-sized creepy discoveries that I've recently stumbled upon online. Reminder that this is part 4, so if you're new to the series, be sure to go check out volumes 1 through 3 on my channel.
Oh, you did?
It's time, once more, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from the internet.
Okay. What the fuck? Bill Mead. Mead, as in
Bill
honey
Mead
mead?
is the name of a YouTuber that runs a channel primarily focusing on the topic of religion. Bill started his channel back in 2014, and over the course of just 4 short months, he would upload 71 videos, amassing 16 whole subscribers to his content. He seemed to be very passionate about the topics that he preached about, and appeared to be open to discussion about Jesus and Christianity.
Bless her heart.
Over the course of the channel's existence, Bill would make it evident that he was
Yes,
dealing with other complications. It appeared that he contracted a severe form of mouth cancer, and over the course of the 4 short months that he was on YouTube, were able to see the progression of his condition as it became worse and worse and worse.
God damn it.
His very last video was uploaded on October 21st, 2014, and it was titled, in all caps, 10-hour surgery tomorrow. Strangely, in this and the upload with the duplicate title, I was unable to extract any type of audio, almost as if it was completely muted by accident. In the description, Bill asks us, in jumbled text, to pray for him and the doctors as he undergoes this operation. And that was it. After seeing this, I naturally expected the worst. Seeing his condition progress so rapidly, followed by a video on the topic of a future surgery before going completely blank, left me with an endless curiosity as to what happened to Bill. I went back to his YouTube channel and tracked down his Google Plus page. With that, I was able to discover that he lived in California and had a wife named Doris. After doing what seemed like endless digging, I just wasn't able to find anything on a William or Bill Mead that would be related to a Doris. So I acquired the help of some friends, and one of them, specifically Alex Bale, was able to track his record down. Bill would have been 90 this year, and unfortunately passed away less than a month after his surgery. His legacy lives on though, and with this, we're left with a very humbling example of how quickly a condition can progress on the human body.
I mean, that's disturbing because maybe because it's so visual, but this is hard. This incident, the convince incident, what?
This entry comes from a user on Facebook by the name of Rico Malik. In his post, he claims that he doesn't normally post on Facebook, but this is a true action and awareness post. In his words, "This is very hard to watch. It hit very close to home as I've been in this situation before. This was my 19-year-old niece coming home late last night in Converse, Texas, to some home invaders in her bushes. Now just pay attention to the recklessness our society has come to. Get this to the media. These guys were out to murder anything moving last night, and they have to be dealt with. This is to be treated as if they murdered everyone in that car."
What the fuck? What
With
the
this,
fuck?
he's linked a video. In it, we're able to see a man as he's obviously hiding outside of a house, behind a tree. Apparently, the people in the car pulled up to their mom's house who was asleep inside. After calling the cops from within the car, things begin to take a very dark turn.
Do you want to tell your mom?
No, wait till the cops get here. They're just waiting.
I locked the doors. I was like,
Yeah.
because if they,
Hello?
that doesn't mean they're alone. Curtis, no.
Them right there.
No, Curtis, there's another one.
Lock the door. Hi, I'm in Converse at 8. There's somebody standing at the side of my house. Looks like they're trying to get in. They're trying to run.
I'm reversing.
Oh, they have a gun. 8310 J.
I gotta get out of here.
What the fuck? The shooting? That was immediate!
Are you okay?
Please get your back.
Oh, please tell me.
They shot on my tires.
Jesus
They
Christ.
shot on my tires. They shot on my tires. I can't.
Okay, this is so fucking real. What the
Get down,
fuck?
get down,
They're
get
they're still fucking shooting?
Please drive. Hurry before they find us, please.
Are you okay? Put down.
Please.
Please.
Do you see anyone? Can you see?
No.
Can you see? Don't look. Just go.
Please.
Thankfully, they all made it out alive. In this situation, they were absolutely lucky that they weren't harmed, because this so very easily could have turned out far worse than it did. After first seeing this, I spent a lot of time contemplating at what I would do if I were in this situation. There's just no way around how it would have turned out. Grab a gun, shoot him back. There's two of them, and they have a direct line of sight to you in the car. Floor it and ram into the tree? Like I said, there's two of them. The other would have come out from behind the bushes, guns ablaze.
Run them over? I don't
off?
know. I don't know.
I still feel like they would have been inclined to shoot, just because they can.
I know.
All around, there's just no
I would
good
just
way
panic
through
and
the
die there.
situation, which is what makes
What the
it that
fuck?
much more miraculous that the driver and passengers were unharmed. While this is so, unfortunately, the two men involved are currently still at large.
How? I mean, the fucking bucket probably after fucking shooting this bucket. What the fuck?
What he's doing?
Oof.
What he's doing?
What the fuck? He's panicking a bit. That's what he's doing. That was so real. That was, I mean, it was fucking real. Jesus. Let's just continue. Halifax Nightmare. Halifax Nightmare.
This entry comes from a user on Reddit by the name of Gloves Are Effed. The post is titled, Warning Men of Halifax, the Glove Man. He opens his post by claiming that he's seen threads in other subreddits about this guy, and that he finally had an accidental encounter with him.
The fuck?
He claims, quote, Last weekend I was on my way back from downtown, walking alone on Spring Garden Road and scouting for a cab, when a well-dressed guy in a black SUV pulls up beside me to ask if I'm looking for a cab. I said yes. He asked where I was going, and I told him. He said he was headed in the same direction, and that he offers rides around town on the weekends. Thinking this was some friendly guy running his own Uber service, I got in hoping for a cheap ride and handed him a $10 bill out of my pocket. Side note, I'm 6'3" and 200 pounds, so I didn't feel threatened. Stupid of me. He then goes on to explain that the guy was wearing a leather jacket and gloves, and as soon as they start driving, he talks about this glove business that he's running, before handing him a business card. When they finally approach his street, the guy eagerly says that he wants the OP to try on some gloves. Despite it being weird, the OP submits to humor him and ends up trying them on. After doing so, things begin to become strange when he realizes that they fit really tight and that the guy began breathing somewhat forcefully. After putting two and two together in his head, he tried to drum up the most non-confrontational way out of the situation. However, the man kept insisting that he stay and try on more of his sets, all while breathing in a very unnatural manner. After an antagonizing few minutes with him, he ends up quickly thanking the man for his time, jumps out of the car, and books it towards a nearby house's yard in hopes of preventing the revelation of his own address to the man. He claims that the guy idled outside for a solid 5 minutes before driving off, and closes his post by warning men of Halifax about this guy, supposedly nicknamed MJ, that offers to pick up young men, forcing them into trying on his gloves in order for him to become aroused. The post was then verified by the moderators, and other users had jumped in, claiming that they had heard or had encountered the man themselves. One of the other posts that the OP references even has the glove man's business card in order of proof. The entire situation
ultra thin online driving and dress glove. I love gloves, but
is chilling.
This is a
and
very
hopefully makes you think before you jump straight into a car with a random stranger that might have intentions that don't exactly align with your own.
Yeah, I seen some weird fetishes, but this is just bizarre. It's not. I wouldn't say it's creepy. It's just weird. Like he puts a glove on and he gets. And the reason I said it's not like creepy is because like there are some weird creepy shit out there, like fetishes, but this is just weird. This is weird. Like that's the only thing. Like, one night at Teddy's, like as 5 Nights at Freddy's.
This entry comes from a Facebook post made by a user named Hank Squires. Back in June of last year, he made a post showcasing a strange phenomenon that he had captured on his baby monitor. His post reads this: I'm very much a skeptic, and I'm going to try to explain this one. Last night, Cora woke up and started playing with a stuffed animal. Hannah thought it was cute, so she recorded it from the baby monitor. When she showed it to me, I told her that it was way too cold in her room, 66 degrees when we keep the house at 70. Then, the freaking teddy bear behind her moved. Watch the video.
66, what
the
is
video
that
he
in
uploaded with
Celsius?
that showed this.
Is that a hamster? What is that? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Is that a fucking teddy bear?
The video
can't
garnered
be
tons
real.
of Facebook attention, and people threw in theories that the entire thing could be faked for attention, with many reasons given. One notable one is when the head actually moves. It seems that, at the top left, an arm is seen moving it. However, I'd personally like to counter this by saying that there simply would be no room for anyone or anything to squeeze their arm into that tight space.
Until there's a hole underneath,
Unless
maybe?
there was some sort of modification done to it, nobody would have been able to fit back there. Another theory people have thrown up is that it's a battery-operated bear.
Huh.
While Hank claims that this is not the case, it could very well be true. The only real update we have is from June. Hank reshared the post onto his own page with the caption, 1 year ago. This, of course, renewed interest in the video, and down in the comments, there's one from a Dana Squires who claims that they're set on believing that the child had moved, thus causing the bear to move as well. While this seems like a very solid answer to the situation, we have to remember that it's always up for interpretation.
Okay. I don't know if you can see this, but like here, there is this like black, different color than the other part of this crib. What is that? Like you can see it behind the whole, what do you call it? The whole warming equipment and the teddy bear. Is that some, maybe that's the like hole, maybe there is like a zip hole to like, I don't know, take the baby from under, I don't know. Just like took my eye from him. Ori chef? What the fuck?
Last year, a post was made on the export of 4chan claiming that there was a user on Facebook that discovered a strange profile by the name of Ori Chef. Apparently, Ori had commented on a news article, clamoring on about nonsense. After they attempted to translate it, things got strange.
How?
The 4chan user went forth to say this. So I was just on Facebook like a normie that I am, and I came across a comment in a post that's a bit unnerving. It's from a posted article from a page that has a few comments, so I saw it. The comment was obviously not entirely in English, but she explains how she wants to be cremated before her husband, or some type of thing, and she kept talking about her friend Susie or something. So I got weirded out by this and tried to click on the Facebook account to know what the fuck is up with this lady. This is where it gets weirder. This was her profile. I immediately saw that she had no posts or even uploads of pictures, so I assumed that she was a dummy account by some dude who's doing God knows what. Then I saw her friends list.
What?
Now I just realized after skimming through all these accounts that every bio that she has adds something weird or cryptic, like cheese bread from an almond milkshake and pita bread from a seasoned beef, kind of shit like that.
Spy?
It seems to be so many that I can't imagine the reason why some person would do some kind of shit like this and what purpose. So it seems that after visiting her profile, they found that every single one of Ori's friends was simply another version of her profile picture.
But who is the real person? Like, who is this person that they have this picture of? What the fuck? What is that? Jesus versus Satan, and then there is her in the background. What the fuck?
With photoshopped facial features and hair. Posts on their profiles get even stranger than this. There are multiple images depicting animal gore with captions that hint at the murder of her own children. Going by her profile, there are no photos or any evidence therein of Ori actually having any children. However, it's disturbing to see. After discovering all this, a user then reached out to Ori, asking her about her many accounts and why she's doing this, and she responded in her typical style, claiming that, yeah, all of them, I was the one who created by, unfortunately, because of my negligence and the stupidity, I forgot that I was renting the computer and forgot to change the password as soon as possible. The 4chan user responded, "Oh, okay, I understand. I like the pictures that you post, like the one you have as your profile picture. Did you make them?" To which Ori responds saying, "Really? Thank you, it's in the Play Store app. If it's in your CP, you know, edit the pic." He then asks her how many accounts she uses, to which she responds, saying upwards of 15 to 24. When asked why, she made the excuse that she uses them for requests in Facebook games. While Ori claims this, I'm gonna go forth and say that I'm absolutely not buying this. Why?
I mean, I did that once or twice to get like referee, like what do you call it? Refer? No. When you get like some kind of prize from inviting someone to the game.
In the world where there are so many accounts that are made of yourself just for game requests.
24?
Also, why in the world would she post gruesome images and caption them about the demise of her own children? Something just doesn't add up. Theories have been thrown out that Ori is either a bot, a simple troll account, an account linked to the government, or actually a genuine person that, for some odd reason, found the need to create 20 plus accounts of herself. Even if this latter theory were
spy
true,
bot, what the
why
fuck?
would she
That would make
post
kind
such
of sense.
sinister things about her children alongside these screwed up images? It just doesn't add up to me.
Oh, this is actually giving me chills, but it's not that weird. It is weird, but it's not like
Stephanie Stevens case.
What the fuck?
But weirder.
Do that.
As we said before, disturbing and obscure content can exist all over the internet, and like we just witnessed, this definitely holds true. I hope you all enjoyed this entry into the series. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which one freaked you out the most? Lastly, thanks so much for watching.
The fucking shooting
I'll
made
see you
me
in the next one. I love you all.
feel uncomfortable and unsafe. What the fuck? And the thing is, like, okay, the to be honest, the Facebook one, maybe there are like weird, creepy, or like even horrendous like events are going behind the scenes, but the shooting was so real, like it was just it was too much. It was like genuinely just disturbing and like fucked up. So that's why it just stands with me. Let's go to the other clip. It's called volume 5. Everything seems to be fine. What the fuck? Halloween, okay.
Happy Halloween! Wow, what a fun week this has been exploring all these marathon topics with you. This has been an absolute blast. And hey, I was thinking, what better way to bring this to a close while concurrently celebrating the greatest holiday of the year than presenting to you yet another installment of my favorite series on the channel.
This is cheerful, okay.
Welcome back, my
I
friends,
feel more comfortable.
to disturbing things from around the internet. If you're new, this is my series that dives into bite-sized and disturbing internet events and mysteries in a list-like format. It's time, on this Halloween night, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from around the internet.
I'm ready. What the fuck? What is that? Tap dancing face in the camera.
Back in August, a strange event took the internet by storm. Peculiar footage was captured during the early morning of August 24th. According to a Facebook post, at 3:20 in the morning, a resident in the Sunrise Ranch subdivision in Montgomery, Texas, was awakened by their doorbell. After reviewing their home video surveillance, they observed and attached the following video and images. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office was alerted and is currently investigating the suspicious incident. The footage that they captured was this. Everyone was on immediate alert. If the odd timing being so late in the night isn't enough to alarm you, then the shackles that seem to be attached to her wrists just might.
Jesus, that's
We were
some
dead
life
asleep
is
in our
strange
bed.
shit.
My husband was awoken by the doorbell. It rang probably 20 to 30 times.
Look at their
A
hands.
nearby resident claimed. The woman, wearing only a t-shirt and no shoes, seemed at the time to have vanished into thin air. Nobody was able to immediately track her down, and so a massive search had commenced for this mystery girl. What happened to her? Why was she crying? And why was she ringing the doorbell so many times at 3:20?
It is little. It seems like she like ran away from kidnapping or something. Look at it. Her hands seems to be like tied up. What do you call it?
Another incident
Cuffed?
occurred in the very same subdivision. A man would take his life by suicide. This was Dennis Collins, and a suicide note that was left behind by him had confirmed that this mystery girl on the surveillance footage was in fact his girlfriend. According to a statement by Montgomery County Police, she was indeed a domestic violence victim, and according to her, the night she was out ringing doorbells, she was in great fear for her own safety. She is safe and is helping police in the ongoing investigation. However, the takeaway from this is that this could be happening to anyone, even those that live right beside you.
Huh? What the fuck is that? Trapped. Is that? What is that weird tap dancing is that?
A post was made in the Ask Reddit sub asking everyone what post was the creepiest that they've ever found on Reddit. While there were many notable responses, one in particular stuck out to me from a user by the name of Killing Spear X. They said this: "I don't know where the post is, but I'm sure many Redditors came across it already. It was about a mother who was pushing her baby on a swing at night. When people approached her, they found out that the baby had been dead for hours and that the mother had some sort of mental breakdown or something." One notable response to this came from a user by the name of El Chapo's cousin, who claimed that either this is a lie or the area she lived in has the shittiest healthcare in America. In response to this, someone quoted them and said, "Apparently the latter, because this actually did happen," with a link to a news article. In Maryland, a 3-year-old boy was in fact dead due to being pushed in a swing for upwards of 43 hours. According to authorities, he was alive when his mother began pushing him in a swing on May 20th, 2015, and had remained in this very same seat for 2 days while his mother pushed him until May 22nd at 6:55 a.m. when he and his hysterical mother were found by police. The mother, allegedly, had a psychotic episode during this and unfortunately did not know what was happening for those 2 agonizing days. Since the original homicide, no charges have been filed, and the mother has since sought treatment for her bipolar disorder and depression. 43 hours.
Oh God!
Sit back and think about this for a second. This children's swing was a death trap for this little boy, and the sheer thought of what he endured, initially thinking that it was going to be a fun and exciting time at the park, then becoming tired of the fun, then becoming thirsty, then realizing Mom isn't stopping. For hours and hours and hours, until it was over. I can only imagine the haunting scene of an oblivious mother pushing the corpse of her own son in a swing, and I really don't know how I'd react if I were ever to stumble upon such a sight in real life.
Jesus Christ. That poor kid and that. Oh my God. Hey, Xenos. Fuck. That was really fucked up. Oh my God. Oh, Karen Waldegrave.
Last year, I made a video that included the phenomenon of the Yay Video Games Reddit account that exhibited seemingly ordinary behavior before a switch seemed to flip, causing their comments to spiral endlessly into obscurity.
What the fuck?
In 2011, a user on Facebook by the name of Karen Catherine Waldegrave would exhibit strikingly similar behavior. Karen, being a seemingly ordinary Facebook account,
Wait,
would,
what is
a
that?
user on Facebook
Ubisoft calls a Steamworks spy by always on DRM? What the fuck? What the fuck? What is this? The spam?
by the name of Karen Catherine Waldegrave would exhibit strikingly similar behavior. Karen, being a seemingly ordinary Facebook account, would, out of nowhere, begin posting nonsensical and unnerving ramblings that seemed to gather widespread attention from across the internet. According to her profile, she was born in London and allegedly graduated from the University of Toronto with a PhD. She has quite a few ordinary posts, which makes this entire phenomenon that much more puzzling. On May 23rd, at around 6:30 p.m., a switch would seem to flip from within her, resulting in her replying to her own statuses over and over and over. Even stranger, the posts that she would make would be entirely out of context, and it would seem as if she's having a full conversation with herself. Statuses, shared photos, and everything else that she posted would then accumulate comment after comment after comment, and it got so bad that she sent approximately 700 replies to herself in the short span of just 12 hours.
What?
At times, there were paragraphs of nonsensical text sent within moments of each other, and it's been widely speculated that Karen simply did this for some sort of attention, or to troll with the help of either a bot or script that would do this for her. After all, she allegedly has a PhD. For all we know, she very well could have done just that. Since the attention that she's gotten, her strange case has largely faded into internet history as none other than someone with schizophrenia or a simple troll. Solved, right? Well, not so fast. It seems that, to this very day, there's still something going on with her, and I can't quite put my finger on precisely what that is. This is Karen Waldegrave today. This account seems to be a newer one of hers and still exhibits the same strange and bizarre behavior of her original account.
Excuse me, what?
Today. This account seems to be a newer one of hers and still exhibits the same strange and bizarre
Tell Killy to come home. This sorted out. What?
Behavior of her original account. Oddly, the page seems to be named differently, however, it still appears to be the same person. The pictures match up almost perfectly, and her education
not judgment,
and
but she looks a bit like, you know,
seems to be an exact replica of what was shown on her original
just
account.
like a tiny bit crazy.
Now, why in the world would a troll be doing this 7 years later? We can notice here that she seems to upload many images of herself, and these, ultimately, would be nearly impossible to replicate.
That smile is like always the same though. Like that is so weird to me. Maybe that's why, because it's like a segment of this whole video, I'm seeing her smile as weird, but that's like the fakest smile with a bit of like creepiness to it.
As someone who's graduated with a PhD, being seemingly well off and ordinary, why would she have any sort of need to still reply to herself with not only obscure text, but randomized links to various websites and YouTube videos? In her posts, we could see direct references to scientific works and writings, and, out of context, these seem to be completely normal. Until we realize that these are all being posted within seconds of each other. Furthermore, there's always just one person that likes seem to be completely normal. Until we realize that these are all being posted within.
I mean, okay, if so, she got a PhD in Toronto. I mean, for a PhD, you need to basically write a book at the end of it. So I think she's just good at it, like, and is like wants to experience that again. I don't know, like maybe like getting the PhD and the moment of actually finishing her thing gave her a jolt of like happiness or something, and she kind of wants to relive that every few years or something. Just I don't know. No problem, Freddy. You're good at English, don't worry. Oh, no problem, man.
Seconds of each other. Furthermore, there's always just one person that likes each of her statuses and posts, and as you might have guessed, these are all coming from her.
Of course.
With just 9 Facebook friends, for all we know, this could still be the work of either a bot or a troll. The strikingly fast and almost randomized posts that come from her
She's the troll, though, isn't she?
However, with the pictures she shares that line up directly with her original account to the T, it's extremely hard to discount the very idea.
Try to contacting like her friends
to this very day.
In his Facebook, you can actually. The tragedy of Adriana Jones. Adrian? Just Adrian? Okay.
This fourth entry was only recently sent to me, and while it isn't necessarily an internet mystery, I couldn't help but include this heartbreaking tragedy. In 2015, police were called to a home in Kansas City, Kansas, regarding a domestic dispute. Upon arrival, a woman would tell them that if they looked around the property, they'd find the remains of a child by the name of Adrian Jones. Adrian's short life was spent isolated from outsiders inside of a mice-infested house where he was under the guise of, quote, homeschooling with his 6 siblings. His father and stepmother endlessly abused him, forcing him into sadistic acts of torture. The father and stepmother subjected him to eating scraps of moldy food out of the trash, leaving him tied up and submerged in a dirty swimming pool for hours at a time, beating him, strangling him, and leaving him consistently bloodied and cuffed. Even worse, the parents documented everything with surveillance cameras placed all over the house in an effort to document their acts of torture. The footage and images were only ever discovered due to Jen Hovers, their landlord, whom was given access to the killer's iCloud account by Heather Jones, Adrian's stepmother, who was directly involved in the maltreatment. Hovers accessed the account in hopes of finding pictures for Adrian's funeral. However, when she looked through what was on the account, she found much, much more than she'd bargained for. In it were videos and photo after photo of Adrian's deteriorating health, and many of these shots came from direct surveillance footage, where he's referred to simply as the boy. It's believed that the killers were proud of their sadistic acts and enjoyed documenting Adrian's afflicted life.
Fuck?
This is just one of those things that I hardly have any words for. The 7-year-old's short life came to an end in late 2015.
Oh my
His
god,
killers
stop
left him to
it.
starve to death while tied up inside of a shower stall. This, unbelievably, gets even worse though. To rid of the body, the abusers resorted to dismembering him and left his remains in a livestock pen where pigs proceeded to feed on them. The heartbreaking thing about this entire endeavor is that there was a suspicion of activity going on. The landlord had the suspicion for quite a while, and this likely stemmed from the fact that, now prepare for this, Adrian did tell investigators that he was being abused years prior. According to an article by KansasCity.com, Adrian told authorities in a 2013 interview how his father would kick him so hard in the back of the head that a little bone came out. My daddy keeps hitting me in the head and punches me in the stomach, and my mom keeps pulling on my ears and it really hurts. He tried to make a plea for his life. However, that, unfortunately, didn't seem to help. His father and stepmother, Michael and Heather Jones, have since been sentenced to life in prison with no chance for parole, and his grandmother, whom had no idea that any of this was happening, has spoken out, absolutely devastated. Adrian Jones never deserved any of this, and it's completely heartbreaking to read about this tragedy that befell him. In some images, you're able to see him wearing a shirt that says "Tough Guy." And you know what? This absolutely holds true. Adrian is a tough guy. Nobody deserves that title more than him. And I can only hope that he's since found the solace that's been overwhelmingly overdue for him.
What the fuck is this word? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
This last entry comes from a user on Reddit by the name of Demeter of New. About 5 months ago, they made a post in the RBI subreddit claiming that their significant other had gotten a new phone, and for the first time ever, she now has visual voicemail.
Okay, I seriously need a few minutes after that. That little kid, Adrian, he really, he seriously looked like my little brother when he was a little, he was a child. Okay, let's continue.
Receiving a voicemail from a family member that day, she read it. This last entry comes from a user on Reddit by the name of Demeter of New. About 5 months ago, they made a post in the RBI subreddit claiming that their significant other had gotten a new phone, and for the first time ever, she now has visual voicemail. After receiving a voicemail from a family member that day, she realized that she had several others that she'd missed. According to the post, she started going through her voicemails, typical stuff, family, bill collectors, but one voicemail dated Friday, June 9th, 2017 at 4:38 p.m. was from a number that we do not know. It's 3 minutes long, and the area code is 480, placing the owner around the Phoenix, Arizona Valley. I've spent all day researching news where their incidents happened the afternoon of June 9th, 2017, and have exhausted my very limited research abilities. The voicemail that Demeter received was this.
He's gonna kill me, help me. God help. The fuck? The fuck? What? No, not 911. It's a voicemail though. What the fuck?
The OP then went forth to give an edit, claiming that the voicemail was dated a year prior. Phoenix police will be contacted, and that they've star 67 the number, which merely led them to a generic voicemail greeting. A few very interesting theories have been given regarding the origins of this voicemail. A user by the name of Satellite Cookie seems to have dissected it quite well and gave the hypothesis that the woman involved may not have even known that the phone was there. They claim that she seemed to have been screaming into her surroundings rather than into the phone, and a butt dial is genuinely possible here. The theories that they gave were that she was kidnapped and hurt. However, the weapon was not blunt enough to knock her out. She seemed to be fully conscious. However, the possibility is there that she had just woken up and realized the situation that she was in, with panic ensuing. Regarding the phone, either she was able to break free to one, it was hers, the kidnappers, or potentially another victim's. Another theory has been given by a user named Sojo3. When Satellite Cookie mentioned that it didn't sound anything like a mental breakdown, they chimed in claiming that they work at a psychiatric hospital and that this absolutely sounds like an episode that could have happened with one of their patients. Sidetracking here, if we take a look at Demeter's post history, it doesn't appear that they were using a throwaway account, and also doesn't seem like they were doing this for any sort of attention. With this in mind, the possibility that this is a hoax or attempt at an ARG are slim. However, an odd red flag here is that they never proceeded to give any sort of valuable follow-up or proof of call history. Many are still awaiting this, and it really puts this story up in limbo. The very fact that we have absolutely no idea whether this is definitively real or fake is what makes this story eerie. Either this is a hoax, someone had a genuine mental breakdown, or there really is someone out there that was captured without ever being able to escape. The internet is no stranger to obscure and disturbing phenomena, and tonight was a direct exhibition of that. Thank you for joining me in this latest installment of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. This has been quite a ride, and I'd like to give an even bigger thanks to each of you for joining me this week as we explored The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, took a ride through a completely new theory on Kraina Gorzhabov TV, dove headfirst into the eerie Reddit camera mystery, explored the beautifully surreal world of Interface, and capped everything off with Disturbing Things 5. Wow, this has been an incredible ride, and I hope you all enjoyed this as much as I have while making it. Stay safe tonight. I'll see you in the next one, because as we all know, there's always bound to be more.
Adrian. Oh boy. That was quite... not quite, way more disturbing than the last one. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh boy. Let's go for the 6th. Featuring a ScareTheater. Don't know a ScareTheater. 3, 2, 1, go.
If you've spent even the smallest bit of time on the internet, then you've most likely encountered a creepy thing or two, either being shared, archived, or just out of happenstance. These oddities can exist anywhere from the darkest corners of the deep web, or even right there in plain sight.
Oh, somewhere in the game is I saw that.
Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet.
Chills.
If you're new, then grab a drink, pop open a bag of your favorite chips, and get comfy. This is my series that dives into bite-sized, creepy, and disturbing internet oddities from all over the internet. If you'd like to get caught up, I have a dedicated playlist on my channel to ensure that you have hours of content to fish through that'll surely leave you up at night. With that out of the way, it's time, with our guest, ScareTheater, to dive into 5 more, hand-picked, and disturbing things from around the internet.
Okay. Weeping, what the fuck is that?
This first entry comes from a Spanish Facebook page called Noticias de Cuernavaca. In this post, they claim that this footage comes from the historic center of Cuernavaca. The video that we're showing here was recorded by a policeman at his guard at approximately 4 in the morning. The nearby tenants say that this is not the first time that this has happened. The video that they attached is some simple cell phone footage that lasts 50 seconds long. In this, you're able to hear a woman scream that sounds like it was pulled straight out of a nightmare.
Oh, don't get closer, don't get closer, don't get closer! What the fuck? Oh, that's so creepy. Get back, get close, don't get close, don't get close. Oh, she's like almost throwing up or something, what the fuck?
If you're unfamiliar with Mexican folklore, La Llorona, which translates to the Weeping Woman, is a popular urban legend that dates back to the 1960s. Legend has it that this woman lost her children and now cries while aimlessly wandering around in search of them. If she's ever encountered, she's known for causing great misfortune to those that approach her. Whether or not this is an actual spirit screaming or somebody having a manic episode and breaking down in the near distance, it's hard to discount the fact that this scream sounds completely genuine and would undoubtedly freeze you in your tracks if you were ever to hear this yourself.
This is a brave cop. What the fuck? Oh my god, I thought the fucking witch in the Left 4 Dead was creepy. What the fuck was that scaring? Screaming, crying, weeping.
On December 22nd, 2018, tragedy would befall the Sunda Strait regions of Indonesia. Completely without warning, the Anak Krakatau, also known as the Child of Krakatoa volcano, would erupt, causing an undersea landslide that ultimately would result in the devastating tsunami that ended up killing 429 and injuring 1,459 residents. Apparently, this volcano had been spewing ash and lava for months prior to when a 158-acre section of its southwest side collapsed, resulting in the massive undersea landslide and wiping out the volcanic island in its entirety. The photos and video from the aftermath of this natural disaster are absolutely devastating, and one event in particular is chilling. Reminiscent of the station nightclub fire, footage was caught at a concert where the pop band 17 was energetically playing. In this footage, all seemed to be going well, and everybody appeared to be having a great time, with nothing out of the ordinary. This enjoyment would unfortunately be short-lived, as it captures the moments leading up to the calamity.
Oh my god.
Among the 429 that were killed, 2 of those were in the band themselves. We lost our bassist, Banny, and our road manager, Oki, the lead singer cried. The heartbreaking thing about this entire tragedy was that it was so sudden. No warning, no preparation, no sound for alarm, just Mother Nature in a fit of rage, wiping out everything in sight. Since the event, people have pled to have some sort of volcanic eruption or landslide detection system put into place. Indonesia must build an early warning system for tsunamis that are generated by underwater landslides and volcanic eruptions. Landslide triggered in the 1992 and the 2018 tsunamis. As recovery efforts continue, this, alongside every other natural disaster that occurs, is a very humbling example of how helpless we can really be against the unstoppable forces of nature itself.
What? Reasonable suspicion or reasonable suspicion? That all kind of looked like a U.
A woman by the name of Maribel Ramos was an Iraq war veteran and college student back in 2013. With a dream of a career in law enforcement, she was taking classes alongside caring for her sick mother. She apparently lived with a 55-year-old man by the name of Casey Joy, and according to him, they were extremely close. In May 2nd of that year, Maribel would fail to turn up at various events that she was scheduled to show up to, and the very next day, she would officially be reported missing by her family. On May 8th, one of her friends by the name of Emily C., desperate for answers, would spontaneously post a thread on Yelp asking about Maribel. In her post, she claims, "My friend Maribel Ramos has been missing since Thursday, May 2nd. She was last seen at her apartment in Orange, California. Please help her family, friends, and I to find her. We need all the help we can get. Shortly after this, a reply would surface by a user named Enrique C, who asked if they had talked to the roommate by that point in time. In response, Emily C would claim that, yes, they spoke with the roommate. He willingly cooperated with the cops by giving them DNA samples, and even allowed them to take naked photos of him. He gave up his cell phone to them so he couldn't contact anyone, which he was all more than happy to do. 3 days after the exchange between Enrique and Emily, another stranger would interject into the conversation. A user by the name of KCKCK responded by saying, "I am Maribel's roommate. She's my BFF and my only family. She is absolutely the best woman I've ever met. We had so much fun together. I miss her so much. She always knew that I will give my life for her without any hesitation." Police forensic team searched this 2-bedroom apartment 5 times with the police dog. They confiscated computer, hard drive, cell phone, car, and took several items. They contacted everyone on my phone list, and I don't know when I will get my properties back. These are major inconveniences, but all these don't matter. I miss Maribel, and that really makes me depressed and stressed out big time.
These are major inconveniences, okay? But including that is really weird.
Interestingly, people took notice of his wordage. He consistently referred to Maribel in past tense, without regard that she's only missing, not dead. Why would he spill his heart out like this over a very, very new missing persons case? A user named Grant K was one of many to notice this. May 14th. Am I the only one finding it odd that this KC roommate posted here and used past tense to refer to Maribel? We had, she always knew,
ooh, that's
as
so
opposed
weird.
to we have, or she knows. And why would she ask him to move out if they have so much fun together? My prayers are with the friends and family. This is very sad. At this point, people retorted at Grant, saying that he shouldn't make such bold assumptions and to let the police do their job, as they should, rather than turning this into a witch hunt.
Yeah, like there shouldn't be no judgment when the person.
Once more, in hopes of defending himself, claiming that English is his second language and that he still needs help with that from time to time. He then went forward pleading to others not to make judgments about him, and that he, quote, wouldn't give a second to give his life for Maribel. This is when things become strange. The next day, he posts multiple times, and each one seems to dig him further and further into the hole of suspicion. May 15th. I love Maribel as a friend and a roommate. This is how we say goodnight to each other. Goodnight, Maribel, Maya, Misun, Mom, and Dad. My profile photo is because I miss her. That is one from the night we went out. I said, Maribel is my one and only BFF. She is. She is my only beneficiary for my $250,000 life insurance, and my only beneficiary for my bank accounts, paid upon death. She knows this. I miss her every second I am awake.
Okay, this is getting crazy and creepy.
A day later, and 2 weeks after Maribel originally went missing, Emily C would jump in, updating everybody that a body had been found. However, they don't know if it's Maribel as of yet. They should know by noon that day. And then, later that same day, someone named Thelma D would drop the verdict on everyone. It's her. And the killer is KC.
Why? What? There's literally wait, there is literally no follow-up. What the fuck? Just crazy.
This entry
Just
surrounds a story
insane.
following 2 young teenagers, Abigail Williams and Liberty German. The pair were best friends in the 8th grade at Delphi Community Middle School in Delphi, Indiana, a small town of about 3,000 residents. As many teenagers do, the pair were keen on hanging out outside of school, having sleepovers, and going on spontaneous adventures for fun. On the evening of February 12th, 2017, the two would have a sleepover at Liberty's grandparents' house, as school was canceled the following day. The next day, the two girls were trying to figure out how to spend their afternoon and came up with the idea to hike around the Monon Bridge, a popular nearby hangout spot. After receiving consent from Liberty's grandmother and arranging for their grandfather to pick them up a couple hours later, her sister Kelsey would drop the pair off near the bridge at around 1:30 p.m. on her way to work. Throughout the next hour or so, everything was going as usual. Liberty, as many people do, began to share her trek along this bridge on Snapchat, and in this photo, taken at 2:07 p.m., you can see Abigail smiling as she walks along it. Unbeknownst to everyone though, this would be the last normal photo that Liberty would ever post to her social media. An hour later, Liberty's grandfather arrived to pick the two up and texted her to meet him at the pickup spot. No response. Realizing this is uncharacteristic of her, he proceeds to call. Still, no answer. It was at this point that he'd walk along the bridge in hopes of finding the girls. However, this too would be futile. In response to his failed efforts, the grandparents report the girls as missing, and a search was promptly underway. Countless volunteers aided in this, with people scouring the entire area. At around 6 p.m. the following day, the worst would unfortunately unfold. The bodies of two young girls were located in Deer Creek, a mere half a mile from the bridge itself. The girls were confirmed by investigators to be Abigail and Liberty, and with this, the evidence that they gathered and released from Abigail's smartphone would baffle everybody. Police were able to locate this photo of a man walking along the bridge, taken shortly after Liberty's original Snapchat photo. And this very, very muffled snippet of audio sounds like a man saying the words, "Down the hill." Down the hill. Down the hill. It's been widely speculated that the audio and this man are directly connected to their deaths, and it's very possible that this same man was ordering the girls to go to a specific location down a hill before he ended their lives. To this day, the only evidence they have to go off of is that Snapchat, the grainy photo, the audio, and the sketch of the suspect. Everything else surrounding the true whereabouts and identity of the killer remains a mystery to this very day. Since this tragedy, the entire town has since replaced all of their exterior light bulbs with those that have an orange hue, and will keep them as such until the day the killer is found.
Seriously, don't know what to say to that, because like, if police can, I mean, did they found them? Like, did they found this motherfucker? If police couldn't found them, like, found him, not them, they found.
Number 5 on our list surrounds an absolutely haunting 911 call made by a woman by the name of Ruth Price. Apparently, Price lived completely alone, and late one night, she noticed a man walking around outside of her home. Understandably shaken, she immediately calls 911 in hopes of getting help. However, what transpires afterwards is undoubtedly something that will disturb you.
What's the problem, ma'am? Oh, there's some guy been checking the place out. How? Well, he went in the back. I have an apartment in the back, and he said he was looking for a guy. And he comes to my door, and said he's looking for an apartment. So I live alone, and I'm an old lady. Where is he now, ma'am? I don't have no idea.
Oh my god.
While the validity of this voicemail is up for heavy debates, it's almost impossible not to be at least somewhat unnerved by this. It's hard to find any concrete case behind this recording, and it's unclear if Ruth Price is her real name or simply an alias. Since the recording, this call has been used in various dispatcher educational courses as a hard lesson to ask for the address of the victim before anything else, since if she would have given it up front, she would likely have been given help sooner, with the sliver of a possibility at still being alive.
I'm so stupid. I just realized that these 911 operators probably get things like this every day. For fuck's sake. Like, what the fuck?
The internet is undoubtedly a weird place. Creepy and disturbing real-life events can pop up on you at any time, and tonight's installment exemplified this. If you, for some reason, haven't yet subscribed to ScareTheater, go over there and give him a sub, and a big thank you for jumping in this with me. He's one of my bigger inspirations, and it was awesome to have him on. Anyway, to close, thank you all for joining me in Volume 6 of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. If you have any other bite-sized, disturbing internet events or oddities on hand, feel free to throw them my way. I'd love to consider your recommendations for a future installment. With that being said, I'll see you in the next one. I love you all, and good night.
Oh my god. Dude, I doubt I can. I don't have the heart for things like Truth Price. It's just, I can't. Like, oh my god, like, just thinking about that. Just think you're going to work, and there are trolls, there are jokers, there are people who are dying, there are people who just want to ask a question, there are people who are getting murdered, there are people who are having a heart attack, there are people who are pranking you. And then there are things that just, how can, like, these things eat your fucking soul. What the fuck? And if they weren't there, we will be fucked. My complete gratitude to all of the 911 operators, all the operators in different countries, like 118 here, 1110 here, 115 here. Jesus Christ. Like, oh my god, like that's such a fucking difficult job. Like, they're just hearing, comforting, and getting the address and like referring it to another like responsible party. But for fuck's sake, that is insane to me. I never thought about 911 being a difficult job, but now that I think about it, it is fucking horrendously difficult. And the pressure is that is like on these fucking people. Oh my god. Give me a minute to smoke like maybe one third. Huh. And the way he presents them, like, I love his voice so much. The way he presents these disturbing things, as much as I hate disturbing myself, the video quality is just so good for, like, he's amazing. Oh, that's my Expo. Let's get to the Disturbing Things from Internet Volume 7. Let's go. Let's go.
No matter who you are, stumbling upon a mystery or something completely ominous can absolutely pique our interest. Something about the darker, more mysterious side of the world has the power to endlessly spark our curiosity as we all try to grasp whatever it is that we stumble upon in order to make some sense out of it. Using the internet for ordinary things like social media, sending emails, and entertaining ourselves is surely commonplace these days. However, the underbelly of the internet is right there under our nose, and often hiding in plain sight.
Local 58.
Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. If you're new, this is my series that showcases strange and disturbing internet events and mysteries in a list-like format. If you'd like to get caught up, I have 6 other episodes in a playlist on my channel that'll surely keep you up at night. With that out of the way, it's time, once again, to dive into 5 more hand-picked and disturbing things from around the internet.
Spare some help? Will you
Number 1
kindly?
on our list involves a post that was made about a year ago to the paranormal board on Reddit. There, a user by the name of Drudagon17 made a plea asking for some input on a few incredibly ominous screams that he'd caught on camera. In his post, titled, "What's Causing These Screams?" he proceeds to say this. "So I'm not really sure what this is. I've had a lot of people tell me different things, but no one really knows for sure. Maybe someone here could help me shed some light?" Earlier in the year, I went on a long road trip across the states, mainly visiting the national parks and a few cities along the way. Towards the end of the trip, we found ourselves staying in the small town of West Yellowstone. This appeared to be an ideal base while we explored Yellowstone National Park. We booked into a pretty creepy but cheap motel just off the main street for a couple nights. Me and my fiance had one room, my parents another. On the first morning there, we planned to get up early, catch the sunrise, and hopefully spot some of the local wildlife, so our alarms were set for 5 a.m. At about 4:45 a.m., I was woken up by a loud banging on the door, followed by crying and shouting. I instantly jumped out of bed thinking the worst had happened. I opened the door to my mom in a state of panic, saying, "There's someone screaming. A woman screaming." There, clear as day, I could hear a woman screaming. It sounded like it was within 100 feet of us. Mom claimed it was happening for the last 30 minutes. We wanted to call the police but had no phone signal, no phones in the rooms, and we were the only people about. With this, his post contained a link to an unlisted video on YouTube that gives us a first-hand account at what he'd experienced. In it, we can hear the screaming that he's been asking about, and it's absolutely something that would halt me in my tracks if I were ever to hear this myself.
Get back in.
The strange part about this is that there are no direct cries for help, and he addresses this further on in his Reddit posts. There's no "help me," no "get away," nothing. Just the manic screams of someone or something clearly in distress. Theories have been thrown up left and right regarding this. Some say it could be methamphetamine abuse, others have claimed it could be someone going crazy, it could be a fox, someone getting murdered, or even a skinwalker. Take that for what you will. Nonetheless, the video still has no true resolution, and Drudagon appears to still be looking for answers.
Okay, so if he heard that, obviously other people in the area will hear it, and you can see cars. So maybe someone found something. I don't know.
Over on the paranormal board of 4chan, an investigation has been ongoing for
God,
about
we're
a year
getting into
now
4chan.
that involves a very strange YouTube commenter community that seems to revel in various uploads of baby monkeys either being neglected, injured, or killed. Large quantities of playlists and videos exist that are solely dedicated to their misery, and they all seem to have quite a sizable audience.
What the fuck?
One example that I'd like to touch on is this channel by the name of Kill Baby Monkeys. Here, they have a bunch of playlists dedicated to various sadistic topics in relation to baby monkeys.
What did
And
monkeys
as
do
you
to
can
you?
see, these all have titles such as Baby Monkeys Having a Bad Time, Baby Monkeys Suffering, Baby Monkeys Are Nauseating, Dead Monkeys, Rotten Little Vermin Make You Want to Kick Them. And you get the picture.
I
Now,
don't want to?
most of the videos in these numerous playlists don't explicitly show animal abuse towards monkeys, but rather natural deaths due to other animals, and nature simply being nature. Also in these are ordinary feeding videos, rehabilitation, or those that show neglect by an owner.
I'm just washing that little fella.
Now I just showed
Come
you a
here.
couple of quote-unquote ordinary monkey videos, and to be honest, these little guys are pretty cute. Not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I'd love to have one as a pet.
Oh
But
man.
that's besides the point. Interestingly, quite a few of the people in these comment sections, like we established, think otherwise, and it's pretty unclear as
Fuck
to
you,
exactly
buddy,
why. On
buddy.
this video here, for example, titled Sasuke's George 12, we can see a pretty harsh roundup of comments. Some well-placed rat traps will take care of him waving his stupid monkey pecker all over the place. Snap. Get that damn filthy thing off the table. Nail it to the table and warm up the jigsaw. It's party time. Death to monkeys.
Monies.
This was just one example video.
What the fuck is wrong with some people?
YouTube account had compiled. With that being said,
It's not enough that we taken their home, cutting their home down, and like they're just fucking around now. Now you want to just torture the poor fucking monkeys, you pieces of shit.
let's jump over to another video in one of these playlists just to see a few more examples. Here's a video by a user named GGGY1004 titled Poor Baby Monkey 2012-26. According to the description, this baby was injured by another monkey and looks as if it's being consoled by an elder. Throughout the comments here, we can see a hefty amount of people expressing remorse for this little guy and hoping he's alright. As you might have guessed though, yes, the sadists are here. Would tie its nuts to bars that would teach it. A tormented, tortured, and suffering baby monkey is a joy to everybody who sees it. Funny videos in this collection.
What the fuck
So,
is wrong with you?
what's up with these people? What's their deal? According to a viewer that reached out to me and the 4chan thread that this is being investigated in, it seems that they all hold a primary hatred towards baby monkeys and none else. Also, they're extremely open about their beliefs regarding them and have this undying obsession over wanting to see them and only them either in pain or dead. Theories circulating about this involve some solid points. However, concrete evidence surrounding them leaves much to be desired. Some have floated the idea that these could all be foreigners that simply consider these monkeys as pests, pickpocketing and destroying the structures that they live by. The thing about this is, though, that most of the names of these people seem to be in perfect English. It isn't
they're
like
talking
Google Translate
like
English even.
literally good
It all
English.
seems just ordinary, as if they're natively from an English-speaking country. With that being said, a user by the name of Kumbio Boombox on my subreddit explains that this simply isn't a sufficient or substantial, by any means, explanation for the sheer magnitude of the torture fantasies that these people engage in.
Yeah.
A second theory about this involves the idea that sadistic pedophiles could be using these monkey videos as a parallel or proxy to real children. This is sort of tied to theory number 3, which we'll get to in a second, but it seems like these people have this undying vendetta against babies, and babies only.
Oh my god.
The third theory involves a possibility surrounding the uncanny valley, and how these primates tread in that gray area where some anti-competitor genes might come into play. It seems that these people could be seeing these little guys as some sort of an evolutionary threat, for some reason or another, as primates are the closest genetic relative to humans. Nonetheless, the community surrounding this strange phenomenon is very much still active in various YouTube comment sections, and while it's been shared throughout the past decade or so on numerous websites and subreddits, a true explanation for the reasoning behind this bizarre movement has been unclear.
Or I don't know. Bunch of animal abusing bastards? Like,
And remains as such to this day.
Like path of least resistance? Easiest fucking path to the fucking pieces of shit? It's street racing. Okay.
Number 3 on our list involves a Facebook post by a user named Jose de Jesus. In it, he makes a post claiming that, "I just got this image and video, very scary." Attached are 2 photos and 3 videos relating to an extremely high-speed race that was ongoing at night on a freeway. Itching for a bit of context, I did some digging on the situation, and it apparently took place in Cape Town on the N1 freeway. In the footage that was captured by spectators on an overlying bridge, we can see one of the cars lose control before brutally crashing into the median. While, yes, crashes
Oh
happen
my
all the time,
god!
this one is especially troubling when you consider the fact that the driver was seriously injured in a very disturbingly gruesome way. Before we get on to that topic, however, let's take a look at the crash footage itself.
How fucking fast was he going?
Is that the fucking BM? Ja, hij is M3. Hij is M3. Hij moet dan nog
Jesus Christ.
If we go by the image attached in Jose's Facebook post, we're able to conclude that this wreck happened at upwards of 192 miles or 312 kilometers per hour.
$300 kilometers per hour. At 60, you have a broken hand. At 120, you're dead. 300 per hour? What the fuck?
Clearly, a very deadly speed to maintain.
Yeah.
With this in mind, watching the video that the passenger in this car took during this race really puts the true danger of this into perspective.
Oh god. Again?
Watching both of those videos were definitely some of the more disturbing things that I've ever seen on the internet. However, none of those compare to the third upload that this guy had in his post. Like we established before, the driver was critically injured in his crash. But how bad actually was it? If this last video is anything to go by, then it's safe to say that he was to the point where I wouldn't even want to be alive. I've seen my fair share of gruesome and disturbing things on the internet, but this one absolutely takes the cake, as I couldn't even watch it for longer than a second.
Oh my god, dude. Should I?
For that reason, I won't be showing the uncensored version to you, but rather this Facebook censored one. In it, we can hear audio of the driver desperately clinging to life as doctors try to help him. In the bits of this video that I was able to peek at, I noticed a huge piece of the car door frame jutting through this guy's head.
Oh
I could go into
god!
further and more gruesome detail of this not safe for life image, but just know that this didn't kill him, and he is, to the fullest extent, in critical condition. This situation goes to show that when driving, it's easy to get brave. It's easy to constantly think, crashes? Won't be me. I'm a fantastic driver. I got this. But this type of thing can happen in an instant. These drivers, very idiotic,
A second, a millisecond.
absolutely no regard for their passengers or others on the road, and I'm incredibly glad that there were no innocent bystanders or drivers within the car's trajectory. Since if there
Seriously.
were, this absolutely could have turned out infinitely worse than it had.
What? Line tragedy. Jesus. Oh, hey, it's fun. Summer. Give me a second. Thanks for the fucking reminder. This goddamn this Streamlab is creepy. Yes, thank you for member on Sama. Oh. What is okay. 7. Let's just continue. Shoreline tragedy.
This fourth entry surrounds a video that was posted to YouTube in 2013. The title of it is Couple Drowns in Front of Camera. This 7-minute video shows the tragic turn of events that occurred while a couple, a 22-year-old by the name of Haitham Mohammed Dayan and his newlywed wife, whose name I was unable to locate, spend their 1-year honeymoon at a pond located in the Bait Bas area south of Sana'a, Yemen. This cell phone footage was taken by Haitham himself as he propped the phone up on a rock to film their embrace. Through the video, everything seems to be going just fine, with the two having what seems like a great time, before Haitham appears to slip. Afterwards, you can see him attempt to cling to his wife in desperation before she's dragged into the water as well. Fighting for survival, the two then try their hardest to make it back to shore together, but that proved to be futile. After about a minute or so of panic and screaming, they both submerge,
Jesus
never to return to
Christ.
surface for the remainder of the video.
1 hour.
The unfortunate part of this is that, had they not panicked, then they'd probably have had a chance to both make it back to shore. But in the moment, Haitham desperately grabbed onto his wife and resulted in her meeting the same fate as he. This video goes to show that no matter who you are, you absolutely need to ensure that, when spending time in any body of water, whether it be a lake, pond, river, ocean, or creek, it's imperative that either precautions are taken or that you know how to swim on your own, as if this were the case here, this would have undoubtedly turned out very differently.
I seriously doubt they would go swimming without knowing how to swim. Like, seriously, that is absurd. Is something grabbing them from underneath?
But in the moment, Haitham desperately grabbed onto his wife and resulted in her meeting the same fate as he. This video goes to show that ocean or creek, it's imperative that either precautions are taken or that you know how to swim on your own.
This doesn't make sense.
Here, this would have undoubtedly turned out very differently.
Maybe I'm just stupid, but this doesn't make something. Brandon Lawson's final call. What?
This last entry has stuck with me for quite a while ever since I initially discovered it. On August 8th of 2013, a man by the name of Brandon Lawson had gotten into a pretty heated argument with his longtime girlfriend by the name of Ladessa Lofton. Needing some space and time to cool off, he called his dad to see if he could make a 3-hour drive over there to spend the night. Trying to talk him out of it, since it was so late in the night, Brandon embarked on his journey at 11:54 p.m. en route to Crowley, Texas. Just 40 miles later, though, he would suddenly run out of gas. After pulling over, he proceeded to call his brother, Kyle, for help, and once he arrived to assist Brandon, he was nowhere to be found. After searching for what seemed like hours, nothing was found. However, the very next day, the realization was made that Brandon had actually made a sudden call to 911 shortly after hanging up with his brother. In it, we can hear a very shaken Brandon try to explain the situation that he's been caught up in. Have a listen.
2013, 0:50 and 38 seconds. 911 emergency.
Yes, I'm in the middle of the field. The Saper just pushed some guys over. Right here going towards Javelin on both sides. My truck ran out of gas. There's one car here and got chasing to the woods. Please hurry.
Okay, now run that by me.
I'm not talking to him. I actually ran into him.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Yeah, no, I need the cops.
Okay.
Cops.
Is anybody hurt? Hello? 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 Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
I can barely make anything out of it.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
The first guy? Take yourself.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Yeah, it gets cut immediately though. Protect. So,
Do you need an ambulance?
gunshot.
Ah, you ran into him. Okay.
Got the first guy.
Do you need an ambulance?
Okay, now I hear it. But a gun. Maybe if it's far away, but that is still would make a much bigger of a noise. Maybe it was inside the car of another person. Even silencer doesn't make sense because this whole
speculation and
sound
controversy have
makes
arisen from
no
this
sense.
ominous 911 call, but the primary consensus surrounding it is that it's, to this very day, an unsolved mystery. Police, allegedly, were initially hesitant on considering this a missing persons case due to outstanding warrants that were issued for Lawson. They believed that he'd attempted to run off to get away from them and that he'd turn up sometime soon, but, as we know, this was not the case. You see, Brandon had 4 children who his relatives say he'd never abandon, and coupled with the strange reaction by police, it almost seems to some that this case was somewhat swept under the rug due to police disinterest. Hearing the frantic voice of Brandon play back is haunting. As the video pointed out, it absolutely sounds like he wasn't alone, and being so late in the night, it's chilling to contemplate on what could have really transpired on that late evening, just 40 miles from his home. The underbelly of the internet, like we established, is a very interestingly ominous place. Strange and obscure posts, stories, and articles seemingly pop up every day, and tonight we were able to touch on a few of them. Thank you all for joining me in this 7th installment of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet.
Okay, wait. So he specifically wanted cops. The thing that maybe he hit someone. That person in the other car had someone like kidnapping them at point blank range, and when they fucked up there was an argument and they shot them, and because he saw someone with a gun he wanted cops because he wasn't sure what was happening, or maybe someone took a gun out, I don't know, as a threatening maneuver for the accident that just happened, and he saw that and was locking the car to ask for. Oh man, I don't know. That's a long
I hope you enjoyed
stretch.
this, and if you have any other
It's a long
strange
stretch.
bite-sized mysteries and internet happenings that you'd like to see on a future episode, I'd love to check them out. With that being said, thanks once again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all, and good night.
Yeah, Pat Hot. I mean, that's entirely possible. Doki Doki. This is Doki Doki's Literature Club remix of some sort. Oh my god. Ah. Holy shit, we're almost at the goal for second monitor. Jesus Christ. That was Doki Doki Literature Club's theme song. Like a remix, but I recognize that song everywhere. This fly will die. This fucking fly. I'm attacking it with a fork. It's plastic, don't worry. I love environment. Yes. Yes, I do. Okay. Huh. My dirty glasses? Let me fix my dirty glasses. So how you all so far? You lads alright? Pat Hot, were you Russian? I think you're Russian, right? I know that Tom is American, from the coast of a space of some sort. Khansama, I don't know. Legendary KD. Probably some of the people who actually chatted before aren't even here, so whoever's here. Hope you're doing alright so far. Oh man. So far the accident, the Adrian, oh god, the Adrian case, and Southeast Asia. Okay. Oh, Asian buddies. Yes, I'm Asian too, almost. Like we have like one island in the Europe and that's it. Not Europe. Africa? I don't know. They call us Middle East, but we are not Middle East. We're basically Asian. Alright. So are Russians and Indians. They are Asian. Okay. Let's go to this third. No, eighth. Wait, how do you say eighth? Oh, just say eighth. Eighth video. Eighth? It doesn't sound right. Video number 8. That makes more sense. Volume 8. Okay, we're going to start in the count of 3, 2, 1, go. Jesus. That was almost scary.
Since the dawn of the internet,
sorry, I'm trying to catch a bug.
Various mediums has been commonplace in many households around the world. Allowing everybody to become interconnected within a vast sea of endless information was absolutely inconceivable just a few short decades ago.
What the fuck is this?
We take for granted today, whether we realize it or not. Within this vast sea of surface-level internet content, an underbelly exists that harbors some of the darkest videos, images, posts, stories, and real-life situations that people have documented.
What the fuck?
These, for the most part, are largely hidden away from those that refrain from doing a little digging.
Wait, are you going to pass that? Okay.
People have documented online. These, for the most part, are largely hidden away from those that refrain from doing a little digging. But luckily for you, Tonight, we're going to explore 5 of them that I've recently come across. Welcome back to Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. This is a showcase series of various disturbing finds that I've stumbled upon online in the last few months. If you're new, this is part 8, so if you haven't yet, definitely go check out volumes 1 through 7 after this video. With that out of the way, get comfortable because it's time, once again, to dive into 5 more.
Get comfortable for
and disturbing things
getting scared.
from around the internet.
Christ. Okay. Yes, sir. Hallway visitor. Alright.
Number 1 on our list involves an upload by a user named Avalesser60. In July of 2011, they would post a video titled Dog Sees Ghost. At just 4 minutes long, the upload involves a woman that went to the kitchen late at night to grab a snack. On the way back to her room, she noticed her dog standing at the end of the hallway, staring at something and absolutely refusing to come to her, no matter what. At this point, she pulls her phone out to begin filming, realizing...
Sorry for my dog simping. I just got a dog recently. Not recently, a few months, and I'm just a bit
something
like...
isn't right here.
Into dogs. Into dogs, like love dogs.
Can you come over here now? Come here, Smooch. Come on. Can you come here?
Come on.
Come here, Smooch.
Fudge. Is your dog's name Fudge?
Okay.
What? What is the red thingy? That's
okay. Come on. It's okay.
To be honest, I don't believe in ghosts, but maybe the red thingy is fucking him up, distracting him.
It's okay. Come on. It's okay, come on.
I mean, dogs are colorblind, aren't they? So he wouldn't be able to differentiate the thing, red thing. It's not a cow.
Smooch, come on. It's okay. Come on. Come on.
Come on. Come on. There's nothing there. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. Just close your eyes and come. What the fuck?
Come here.
Is someone behind her? If you put a sausage on the ground, she probably comes running.
She eventually begins yelling out, "Leave my dog alone," convinced that she's accompanied by some sort of entity that's preying on her dog. Standing firm, she continues to convince it to come to her.
Good. I opened your cabinet for you. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come here, baby.
Come on.
Come on.
What the fuck is that even? Like, is that like a blood-stained closet?
Leave
It's
my
painting?
dog alone. Come on. It's okay. Come on.
Power of Jesus compels you.
Come on, Smooch. Come. Come.
The dog's name is Fuse.
Come.
Maybe, I think, no, I don't know, maybe, the thing looks a bit shiny, whatever it is. It's a door, maybe? So maybe the dog sees the reflection of
Like we just saw at
itself?
the end, the dog never ends up following her command, ultimately retreating around the corner. The comments on this video are surprisingly sparse. Some were drawing parallels to their strange experience with their pets, while others were attempting to rationalize the situation. One commenter claimed that this wasn't the work of any sort of ghost at all, but rather, the dog was scared of the black box at the edge of the frame, or what it presumed to be a shadow in the kitchen. Now, in a way this makes sense, but they're hell-bent on staying on their side of the hallway at all costs. Dogs generally know their homes pretty well. What about this box or shadow would freak it out so much here? Also, we can notice that the dog stares up at the top right corner for most of the video, which makes it seem like whatever it's scared of isn't exactly on or near the floor. Nonetheless, the video is strange, and at just over 1.5 thousand views in nearly 8 years, it definitely deserves some more insight. This dog saw something. What that something is, exactly, is unclear, and it might sit that way for good.
Poor dog, but I mean, there's nothing there, really. The woman in the tree. What the fuck?
This second entry comes from a YouTube video that gained major traction a couple years ago. Over on the channel by the name of Jitu Kumar, a video was posted on October 1st of 2017, titled, Bital Woman Viral Video. This centers around a mysterious lady from the Bital village and carries with it an insane amount of questions. The video in question is 7 minutes long, and here we can see a shot of a woman in a white robe sitting in a tree. Nothing really all that out of the ordinary.
Wait, what the fuck is with the crow sitting in the air? What the fuck? Okay.
For the next couple,
am I seeing things? I'm a bit tired. What is that? Is that a crow on a cloud in air?
minutes, we can see her making her way up to the top, still relatively normal. Perhaps she's doing some sort of show or just enjoys climbing trees. Really, to each their own. The video begins to get strange though when you begin to take a look around the cameraman. Many are filming, which begins to drive home the idea that something just isn't right here. Around the 4-minute mark, something incredibly bizarre happens. She finally makes her way to the top and just stands there.
Okay, those branches can't really. Okay, that's so weird. Those branches can't hold her. Is she fucking staying on leaves? How much does she weigh?
First and foremost is how she's managing to keep her balance all the way at the top of this large tree on such a small branch. It doesn't seem to bow, and it doesn't look like she has any support.
Is she working in a circus? What the fuck?
So what's going on? Incredibly curious about the context here, I dug through the comments, but this didn't lead very far. Some were simply writing this off as totally fake, while others, like myself, were trying to get some backstory. What I was able to find though was a video by a channel called Viral V. They posted this footage as well and made the claim that this woman was doing this because she was possessed by a spirit. Now, I wasn't able to find any definitive proof of this claim, and it could very easily be written off as mere dramatization. Itching for something more definitive, I did some more digging on this woman in a tree phenomenon and found a few other videos of various people doing the exact same thing, all with crowds surrounding them, cheering them on, and filming. This leads me to the assumption that this has to be some sort of ritual.
Seems like there is some kind of spirituality into it.
About said ritual is incredibly sparse online, so this is merely another theory. Nonetheless, the woman ended up making it back down safely. Whether this was the work of a demonic possession or a sort of rite of passage, this footage is
Why
bizarre,
would a demonic possession create tree climbing abilities and skills? Oh. Okay. Derek Medina.
In August of 2013, a Florida man named Derek Medina and his wife Jennifer Alfonso were going about their lives after becoming recently remarried. Unbeknownst to most that knew them though, their marriage—
Oh shit, give me a second. I need to wait a second. I'm not Caucasian. I'm not white. I'm brownish yellow. With some dark in it too. Maybe. Give me a second. Yeah, I mean, sand color makes sense too, a bit sandy. Sorry, I just got some cable, ordered some cable, and it got here, so I wanted to get the router in the roof for the next streams. But yeah, where were we? Medina, yes, Medina. Okay, everything is all right. Let's continue.
And to take an extremely grim turn. On August 8th, Derek would post a sudden Facebook status. From his cell phone at about 8 p.m. that night, he would go forth to say this. I'm going to prison or death sentence for killing my wife. Love you guys, miss you guys, take care Facebook, you'll see me in the news. My wife was punching me and I'm scared. I'm not going to stand anymore with the abuse, so I did what I did. I hope you understand me. Fittingly, his Facebook friends were shocked. Was this some sort of joke? A hoax? Was he hacked? Not quite, as soon after this post went live, he'd contact his relatives, explain to them what happened, change clothes, and head over to the police station to turn himself in. During the initial investigation, authorities caught sight of security cameras that Medina had put up in their home. After confiscating that and going over the footage, we're able to see firsthand what actually played out that night. might notice in that video that after the smoke flies up from the gunshots, he leaves the room before returning to take a second look at her. This wasn't just to take a second look. Remember that Facebook status that I mentioned prior from Derek? He posted another one as well at around the same time. In this other post by him, we're able to see his deceased wife slumped back. The caption that he attached to this was a grim R.I.P. Jennifer Alfonso.
Oh God.
Since this
What
happened,
the fuck?
Derek Medina had, like we established, turned himself in. Interestingly though, he pled
That's
himself
so
defense,
fucking
claiming
sick.
that she charged at him with a knife. Because of this claim and the results of the investigation, he was convicted of second-degree murder and ultimately was sentenced to life in prison. Across the internet, you're able to find more surveillance videos of what actually went on behind closed doors in their home. These are hard to watch, but ultimately reveal that the domestic struggles that the two faced in their relationship were probably more common than we think.
Like, oh God, an unexpected nightmare.
On February 21st, 2018, in a northwest Dallas suburb, 2 house fires would occur in a residential neighborhood. These were later determined to be linked to a natural gas pipeline that runs straight through the community. 2 days later, a third incident would play out just around the corner. On February 23rd, the Rogers family's lives would be forever changed when a natural gas explosion would occur within their home. Ominously, the moments leading up to this were actually documented by their 12-year-old daughter, Michelita. According to the Rogers family, she was recording iPhone videos early that morning for fun, goofing off and sharing her excitement as she got ready for a cheerleading event later that day.
I'm gonna get ready for the NCA, National Cheerleaders Association, today. So I'm gonna start with here, turn on my lamp because I don't want to turn on all of the lights. So I went ahead and connected my straightener, and I still have to connect the curling iron. And I already got halfway started doing the braid.
After this, she would proceed to make a time lapse of the next few minutes as she got ready. The first few seconds of this seemed pretty ordinary, and there was absolutely no implication that anything had gone awry. Until one frame, when the camera goes dark.
I saw things. I saw, what do you call it? When you're building shit and there's like a sparks? Yeah, sparks. Yeah. Oh God, that was the explosion.
This gas explosion had led to the passing of Michelita and the injury of her parents and
Oh
brother.
God.
According to her mother, who was out of the room, this happened out of nowhere while she was asleep. Once it happened and she came to, her and her husband rushed over to their daughter to find her stuck under dresser drawers. After getting her out, they rushed her outside to firefighters who laid her on the ground, as she, at the time, was still alive. In the moments during this, her mother would whisper to her in Spanish, "Fight like a warrior," confident that she got the message. After being rushed to the hospital, about a half hour later, she was pronounced dead by doctors who claimed that her internal injuries were simply too severe. The explosion had decimated their house, causing the roof to cave in and for it to sit, to this day, in ruin. Since this haunting event, Michelita has become one of 9 people to have died by natural gas leaks in North Texas since 2006. Since this, her mother has spoken out, claiming that it hasn't gotten easier. "Some days, I don't feel the damage in my body. I feel the pain in my heart." A lawsuit was later filed against Atmos Energy, who were in the neighborhood replacing aging steel pipes during the days leading up to and on the date of her passing. Apparently, the neighborhood that they lived in was long neglected by the company, leading to the onslaught of gas-related incidents in the area. While the company has denied the claims, the lawsuit is still pending. The passing of Michelita is undoubtedly something that no family should ever have to endure. She fought like a warrior, but seeing as she was at the very epicenter of this blast, not shielded by any walls or barriers, her life had come to an end in one of the most tragic ways imaginable.
Rest in peace, Michelita. Travis.
A widow named Sandra Harold and her pet chimpanzee, Travis, have lived together in Stamford, Connecticut since 1995. Having raised him with her late husband since he was just days old, Sandra often referred to Travis as more of a son than a pet. They'd often bring him along to work and to shopping trips around town, and having been socialized around humans for his entire life, the Harolds maintained a growing trust in what they believed to be his extremely calm and well-trained demeanor. On the night of February 16th, 2009, this notion would be thrown into a tailspin when a friend by the name of Charla Nash would visit them. At around the same time she'd arrived, Travis had gotten a hold of Sandra's car keys and left the house. Noticing that Charla was holding a Tickle Me Elmo, Travis's favorite toy, he brutally attacked her, latching his hands onto her face and pulling it apart, piece by piece. At this point, Sandra would grab a butcher knife and run out to begin stabbing him in an attempt to get him to stop. This ended up being futile though, as it only made him angrier. Since this was the case, Sandra rushed back to grab the phone. She dialed 911 and in a desperate plea, manically described the situation as it was unfolding in front of her.
Stand for 911, where's your emergency?
This is Sandy. 231 Rock Crimmon Road.
What's the
Send
problem?
the police. Send the police.
What's the problem there?
The chip killed my friend.
What's the problem with your friend?
Oh, please.
What's the problem with your friend? I need to know.
Send the police up with a gun. With a gun. Hurry
Who
up.
has a gun?
Please hurry up. He's killing my girlfriend.
What is the problem?
He's killing my friend.
Who's killing your friend?
My chimpanzee.
Oh, your chimpanzee is killing your friend.
Yes. He ripped her apart. Hurry up.
With a gun.
Hurry up, please.
There's someone on the way.
With guns, please. You shoot him.
What is the monkey doing? Tell me what the monkey's...
He ripped her face off.
He ripped her face off?
He's trying to attack me. Please,
Okay,
hurry.
I need you to calm down a little bit. They're on the way. Can you put yourself away? I don't want the monkey attacking you.
Please, hurry up. Listen to me.
They're on the way, ma'am.
Guns. They gotta shoot him, please. Please, hurry. Please tell him to kill him, please.
They did, Sandra. They're shooting at him already, okay?
But he's not dead.
I know. They will continue until he's dead, okay?
What the
I
fuck?
need you to stay on the phone with me and breathe.
What the fuck?
He's not dead. He's not dead. Oh, God.
When the police arrived, Travis, after engaging with the officers, was shot numerous times, which resulted in his death. As for Carla, her face was completely ripped off, and she was immediately rushed to the hospital, where she underwent over 7 hours of surgery on her face and hands. According to medics, she lost her hands, nose, eyes, lips, mid-face bone structure, and maintained significant brain injuries.
God.
A few weeks later, it was announced that she'd be blind for life. Afterwards, she was offered the opportunity to undergo experimental transplant surgery due to the extreme nature of her injuries, and this seemed to be successful. Until later, when her body began to reject them, resulting in her undergoing even more corrective surgery. According to toxicology reports, shortly before this incident, Travis had been given a mixture of prescribed Xanax and tea in Sandra's attempt at treating his Lyme disease. This is widely believed to be the cause of his manic episode, as the drug causes paranoia and hallucinations in chimpanzees. In 2009, the Nash family would file a $50 million lawsuit against Sandra Harold. A year later though, at age 72, Harold would pass away due to a ruptured aortic aneurysm. Because of this, the Nash family ended up reaching a settlement with Harold's estate, which was valued at about $4 million. Charla Nash is, to this day, still undergoing recovery efforts from the attack. What played out on the night of February 16th, 2009 is incredibly tragic and will undoubtedly remain in the back of her mind for the rest of her life.
This is just genuinely a fucked up all over the story. What the fuck?
The internet is a beautifully enigmatic place. All over it, we're able to find oddities buried within its darkest corners, and tonight, we've touched on 5 of them. Thank you so much for joining me in this 8th installment of Disturbing Things from Around the Internet. If you know of any other bite-sized discoveries that you'd like to see on a future installment, definitely throw them my way on Twitter or via email. With that being said, thanks once again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. I love you all, and good night.
You're talking about Travis, Iran, and the crazy shit. Travis, man. Okay, that takes the cake. The most fucked up thing I ever seen and heard. I can't continue after that one. Because you could fucking hear it. You could hear that fucking chimpanzee in the background of the phone. As she was tearing that poor woman apart. I need the lights. I need the lights. I seriously need the lights. Because, oh my god. I don't want to be alone. So I'm gonna go to my brother. Yeah, I hear that chimpanzees are strong, but Jesus Christ, like, when you hear something and you, like, understand the fact, it's different than just witnessing something horrendous like this. And, like, to say it's expected is just unfair to the fucking victim. Jesus fuck. Like, but yeah, I'm gonna just start, wrapping up and going to my brother's, at least for a few hours, just to get out of this mindset of death and disturbance and all that shit. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Freddy, Pat Hot, Tom, thank you. Thank you very much for coming and staying with me. I appreciate you immensely. Yeah. See you all later.